All right, honestly, the moment I saw it, I knew I had to cast it. Boys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to the Age of Empires 4 action. Welcome back to the Jeanne D'Arc special. No, screw these folks in the north. I'm sorry. We got to go right down here because we've got a stacked lobby for 4v4s. In the teal, we've got Beastie. In the pink, we've got Corvinus. In the green, we have Numidan. And in the blue, we have Myriad. And the reason why I have not quoted the choice of Civ is because they are one. They are the Jeanne. We have got the quad. What would you call this? The quad Jeanne d'Arc? No, that sounds too simple. The Jeanne Quad Arc. There we go. We've got the Jeanne Quad Arc performing here on Golden Heights in a 4v4 versus Matteo in the orange, who's playing as the Rus. Then the purple, we're going to have a front man, Hossein, playing as the purple Malians. Behind them, another Malian picker in the red. We've got no one. So we'll just forget about them and move on, I guess, because on the flank, we've got Seleka playing as the English in the yellow. I had to check this out. Folks, these bullies in the south, they had a game before this where they'd done the quadruple Jeanne. And literally 2 minutes in, the enemies just left. And they processed what had happened. They clearly discussed between them and said, this just isn't worth our time. It's already going to be an uphill battle versus the pros. They've all picked Jeanne d'Arc. And the reason that this could be a very cheesy strategy, folks, is Jeanne d'Arc right now has nothing that scales around team play. And what I mean by that is not her abilities, because actually some of her abilities do, like the Divine Restoration, from what I can recall, does affect teammates. I believe the attack speed or you get later does as well. But there is no XP escalation in that it doesn't take Jeanne more to get her levels. Which is kind of nuts, because in team games, you tend to see a lot more death, which means a lot more XP. In fact, another kind of crazy detail here, folks. When you play 8-player games, there happens to be quite a few boars on the map. And something I want y'all to process here is that all these boars, well, there's nothing to stop them sharing XP. You know, Jeanne isn't a fussy person. If she needs to share a meal on a plate, she's willing to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get the entire one tech up with the Chamber of... What? Okay. This almost feels like we're just trolling now. It's a quadruple Jeanne Chamber of Commerce build. So the quad cock build is coming out. Jesus, I never thought I'd say that in an Age of Empires forecast. And on top of that, most of them are being built by 1 or 2 max, which means that Jeanne should more or less be ready to go the moment she completes tech up. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're all going to run over to the boars one by one. Because, folks, those are 50 XP each. I think it's, was that 400 to get to level 2 to 3? Or 500? But you're already going to strike off 250 of that requirement. So this is going to be some very aggressive timings around the level ups on Jeanne. In the meantime, on the north side, we are going to be getting the Kremlin out of Matteo. We are going to be getting the Mansas, which is just standardized for the Malians. And it is probably going to be the council hall for the English after they do a little bit of fishing here. So this is a very interesting choice by the Southern team. Like, they are realistically choosing to try and trade into a corner, hoping that it's not going to get revealed early. If it does, there is a clear defense point for all these players. But I guess you could argue maybe that's a bait in that it means you could attack elsewhere with the Jeannes, or even if you have to fight into that location, folks, what you have to remember is that when your opponents have to come contest trade, that means they have to fight you. Which, by the way, is why, in theory, Jeanne trade builds are going to be super OP, because right now the counter to Jeanne is you don't actually fight Jeanne until Castle Age, right? You just ignore her. Trade always changes that equation, right? It makes you have to consider fighting them, especially considering the trade build is decent, especially in 1v1s at least, because this is still French in terms of the eco discounts. They still get 30% off of all these upgrades, so quite cost efficient to escalate trade. There's rules for this. There's not exactly bullying. I'm sorry. Did you really just say that after you quadruple picked Jeanne? Well, the trade has been scouted. That's step 1 for sure. We're already seeing Chamber of Commerce getting ready to pump some people out. Whoopsie. It looks like Corvinus may and also Numidan did not actually get tech ahead of their tech up. Actually, wow. Okay, Spirit of War. So the only one who done this optimally was Beastie. So basically, folks, you want to be dropping your lumber camp and researching forestry straight away, because forestry can be researched in the Dark Age, which means you immediately get a trader. The surprising part is only one person bothered to do that. And that one person, I'm waiting for him to kick up the trade. I think he wants to get the safe half first into the corner, and then he'll come back to the neutral trade afterwards. So interesting choice. Makes a lot of sense, though. Meanwhile, Jean's are on the move, folks. Here we go. This is... this should not be legal. Wait, we've got Hunter, Jean? Okay, well, I think it's fair to say that Myriad is not getting XP. And people asking, why do you want forestry? You want forestry because it's super cheap, only costing about 50 resources, and it produces a trader. So the idea is that if you... because forestry of all these techs is the one that you can get before Feudal Age, you grab it, then when you arrive, you already have a trader being pumped. And then Wilbarrow gets you your second trader. So it immediately escalates you. But here we go. So it looks like... was that Divine Arrow shot? Yeah, that's kind of a waste coming out there from Corvinus. Looks like they're just trying to disrupt the Roost a little bit, because the Roost has been getting a lot of Gaia units. But now the XP's coming the way of the other lads. That's one. We're not going to stop at one, though, are we, folks? In the meantime, I do... Wait, is Myriad griefing? Myriad, come on, buddy. You're meant to come with the team. Okay, so Myriad, I think, just sniped one of the boars. Please tell me he's not going to snipe another one. I think he sniped one over here, right? Because I remember seeing one in this area. I can't find it because I'm not wasting that much time. But, yes, there already appears to be one boar carved off the center. Rest of the team going to move over. A nice job making sure Mateo does not get the bounty gold from the kill on the boar. We've got Warrior Scouts coming out. Now, this would be a great solution to range Jeanne. If you could just find a range Jeanne on her own who's almost dead. I mean, if there was only a range Jeanne out there somewhere, he's living life on the edge and could easily be killed right now. Wait a second. What, you know what, folks? I think there is a Jeanne that fits that quota. And I think they just found her. Go, go, go. There's no way you let... ah, it's too late, Divine Restoration, right? Yeah, so you have to back away. So far, we have annihilated a lot of the Pumbas on the map. There's still, what, one more in this area to go? And the others have been taken. So this is still going to be a good XP game, but there we go, Jeanne. Ooh, he remembers. And it looks like it's going to be use of the Divine Arrow, but the problem is you're taking too much damage and doing too little in return here. So it looks like it is going to still be Myriad losing his Jeanne. Noob. I'm sorry, Myriad. It is kind of depressing when you lose your hero unit to 2 scouts, right? Like that's got to hurt a little. Meanwhile, the others are too busy hurting wildlife still, as more wolves and boars go down. Dude, I wonder how close they are already to level 3. I wish I could check. Oh, wait, I can, because we don't have a capture age. They're already halfway there. Good lord. And now they're being fed knights? What? I mean, sure, you killed a sheep, but really, buddy, was it worth it? Mateo, I'm not convinced of this right now. Claps are coming out. They're going to get that Knight low. Not able to finish him off. Unfortunate there. They need a Divine Arrow charge because then you can get the easy tap. But yes, you did just see that correctly, folks. Divine Restoration is totally reasonable. Oh, God. More Knights are coming, though. Now, keep in mind, Knights are the counter to Men-at-Arms, right? And this is Women-at-Arms. Although they are stronger and better, they're not good enough here. Divine Restoration coming in clutch again, though. Keeping them alive here. And yes, you are seeing this correctly. Just to reiterate to people, Divine Restorations work for your teammates. However, one has been sniped. It looks like Jeanne D'Arc Hunter is going to be next to flop. And by the way, I think we know who to blame for all this because he's still not even there. Myriad. Myriad. Myriad, please. Myriad, please. Hey guys, this is like that scene where the person's like, hey guys, I'm finally here. And they just open the door and everyone's dead. And they just slowly close the door. So Myriad's down again. Jesus. With Jeanne play like this, I'm going to rename him the carpet. He spends so much time on the floor. So Myriad is not having a great start to this game. First, because he was far enough away from the teammates, he ran to the opposite ball, right? So he took away Gaia XP from them. And then he arrives late to the west side, so he misses out on the Gaia XP there. So this is a rough game for him so far. And I'm not sure if the plan is fully being realized here. Now that Knights are starting to break through, right? We've got Orange charging forward with the Roost Knights. On the right side, we've got Purple adding in the Donzo's Javelins to go alongside the Warrior Scouts and harassing onto the Eco. Myriad, definitely feeling the pain there. Has at least got Will Barris, who should be able to retreat away. But, I mean, when you retreat here, like, your opening play has kind of flopped a little. Because now you've got the English diving into Blue's base. Blue, who, by the way, of all the Jeannes right now, is the weakest, right? Because the XP block, the fact they were away so long, like, look how far away they are from level 3. And on top of that, what are your teammates doing? They're being greedy motherfuckers. You've got Corvinus going 2 TC. And then if that wasn't disgusting and greedy enough, you've got Numidan in the pocket position now going 3 TC. You guys aren't going to be helping, are you? Meanwhile, Teal on the left side. Looks like BC's at least going to try to wall this in because they got walled out of the trade. All right, guys. I think, and once again, I can't believe I'm saying this in the Age of Empires forecast. 4-cock may be too much. This is... Turns out when there's only one trade post on the map, it's a bit easy to shut you down. Now, they do at least have trade via the fact they can trade with teammates, right? But... even then, this is looking grim. Myriad, he gets spotted trying to go for another TC. I say another, this is his secondary. But I'm counting them collectively as a team right now. Javelins do, by the way, do a decent job of countering both the ranged form as well as the melee form because of the high base damage. And they are definitely doing that right now. And these cleaves, dude, it just doesn't work against Warrior Scouts. Oh, man, what a harsh game. Divine Restorations are still ready to be pumped, but this is not looking good right now for Jean Quad. Oh, sorry, Jean de Quad. There we go. What do we call it? The Quad Arc? I think we call it the Quad Arc, right? I think that's the name of the strategy. Looks like the Yellow is having a little bit of a issue getting their Rams to work properly, but they are going to start shuffling their way in. I don't think this is going to end well for the boys, if I'm totally honest with you right now. Beastie just lost so many villages here. Oh, no. Was it just too many villages, or did he try to garrison and repaired? That's a lot of dead villages. It looks like he may have accidentally tried to repair there. So they are all having a hard time, except for one person. The savior of these lands, Numidan. Every time he looks at his teammates' bases and sees them lose additional villages, his thought is, it is okay, my brothers. I will build more town centers to replace your villages. But Numidan, that's not quite how games of Age of Empires work, but okay. Farms also coming out as well as the guild hall. Jesus. Like, has Numidan built a single aggressive unit? I don't think so. I mean, he's aggressively trading, but I don't really think that counts. By aggressively trading, I mean he's essentially running them into the enemy's arms here. I don't even know why they're going there, by the way. Has he just left the rally point up in that area? Nope. So, where are they going? Why are they going? Oh, they ain't going for long. Looks like they are going to be chopped down. A lot of stone being gathered, so it seems Numidan's goal to recovery is to kind of just set up some keeps, kind of block out any raids through. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him try to hop skip into Imperial Age, but that's a long way off. And you're not far off being missing a teammate here. Looks like Myriad is at death's door right now. In fact, I think he ran, some villages to the south side here, but this is what, just to get an extra TC? Oh, buddy, I don't know if you're going to be able to get those TCs. It looks like, actually, oh, Numidan, you sick, slick Rick. He actually drags the army away, buys that critical time to disengage. So it looks like now Myriad should be able to stay out of range, out of vision of his opponents. So great move there by Numidan, and somebody can get away with more easily because he just got to level 3 Jeanne. How are we looking elsewhere? I don't even want to look at Corvinus' XP right now. That's not XP, that's an XD. Beastie, that's not XP, that's an XD. How is it that Myriad is closer to level 3 than Beastie? Well, actually, in fairness to Beastie, Myriad has probably been getting a little bit of XP underneath that TC, you know what I mean? Or is definitely the word I'd emphasize there, considering the town center is now gone. Meanwhile, Southside walls are now going to be going up, so it looks like Numidan is trying to provide shelter for his teammates. This is reminiscent of watching Wham and free-for-alls. Dude, Numidan is just the sheep gatherer right now. Just herding those bad boys. Problem is, in this case, the sheep have teeth and talons, and they do hit pretty hard. So it needs to be respectful of that. Walls. Oh, there's a gap. There's a gap. There's a gap. No, 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 no. Wait, has he got enough torch damage? I mean, if he uses the spears. Oh my god, I can't believe... Wait. No. Numadon. After all that effort, not only is he going to lose the villagers, but he doesn't even complete the walls. So, death to his villies. Walls are now open. And poor little Myriad. Buddy, build a wall. Build a wall right now. You've got enough stone. No, you haven't. Maybe he has just enough stone to build a tiny wall here. The problem is they'll just walk around it. So this is getting grim, folks. Left side is going to be orange and red, both contesting Beastie. You can see that there's a little bit of help coming in from Corvinus, but it kind of feels moot and irrelevant now that he's going to be forced back home. Numadon now coming in with the defensive keeps. The waves just keep on coming from the north side team. These guys. I mean, how about this, folks? When we got into this game, who thought that it would be this good for the north? Right? Like, who looked at this and was like, man, I could definitely see a world in which, you know, the double Mali and Marus and English pick take this versus quadruple Jeanne. How many of us thought that quad Jeanne was going to reach level 3 before 12 minutes? Be honest. Because realistically, that is quite possible. That can happen. I do wonder how strong this strat would have looked if they didn't have one loosey-goosey on the other side of the map. Like, that's not to target Myriad here. It's just his position made it very difficult. The weird part is the comms from them was to directly go here, but that was a long way from Myriad, so maybe they should have met in the middle instead. But either way, it's a big what-if in this game. I think it might remain that way because things are starting to look grim. Jeanne is going to stay alive, but barely. Divine Restorations are still on cooldown, so needs to be careful. Almost ends up losing Jeanne D'Arc Knight. Will indeed lose Jeanne D'Arc Knight. Jeanne indeed has gone dark, and well, the keeps are going to protect them for a little bit. The problem that I see with this right now is they have one player who's completely dead. They have another player who's completely dead. And then they've just got two that have been eco-booming in the center with very limited resources, it must be said, right? Like, the farms are coming out from Corvinus, but outside that, no food to speak of. Numadon has a similar number of farms and has a small reserve of deer that will exhaust quite quickly here. So you have to kind of play out your base soon, or you have to find more wood for the farms. This castle, I don't know if it's really going to go up. I've seen some ambitious castles in my time, folks. This might take the cake. There is no way. I mean, Numadon is living in a world of delusion right now. Villagers have to be pulled to deal with the rams. Can't even cancel the castle at this point, right? Because you get less than half in return. So this looks pretty done. If they somehow recover this, I'll be amazed. Where is Beastie? Beastie, okay, he has got some villages down to the south. So there is a world in which Beastie can rebuild his base. It's going to take some time, though. And admittedly, these villagers may be giving away the plan. Also, keep in mind that right now, I wouldn't necessarily say Numadon is surviving the onslaught of two players here. And there's about to be two more on the way. So this is where you kind of get that pincer maneuver coming in from the left and right. And no. The good old free French TCs to recover. No. They're French TCs now. But Myriad right now is festering. He's saying, if I ever make my way into Imperial Age, this isn't a recovery TC group. This is a discount line of keeps. By the way, I don't know if he's going to get to that point. Outposts are coming up. They kind of just need to deny this vision. Their one hope of actually getting back into this is making sure their opponents are blind. Walls are go. Oh god, that is not the way to build. Wait, what? What is that cursed little wall? I think this completes. It looks a bit wonky up against the wall there, but looks like, yeah, he will be able to completely block this off. Did cost him a villager or two due to the outpost fire. But now I'm kind of worried, like, what's happening on the north side of the map? We've been so distracted by the south, we haven't really talked about the economies of the north. Grand Fulani. Okay, that's pretty much all we need to say about the north, isn't it? On top of that, the English over here are having a field day. Literally the type of fields that Theresa May would love to skip through. Triple farm setup already configured. Should be easily inflating their gold amount, their food amount quite soon, to the point where they could easily think about Imperial Age in the next few minutes. On the left side as well, Orange is having a good time. Looks like they've got plenty of pocket resources to work with. They've even built farms in the center after they played onto the deer. For good reason. They're never actually going to be harassed here because I don't see a world in which the Jeans do anything but defend. Like, if they somehow get back to that area of the map, the game's already over the other way. Jeanne struggling right now to stay away from this. And this is one of the big issues, guys. Mana Jeanne is really not impressive. Not in the Archer form, anyway. Let's not talk about the Foot Soldier form. Guys, does he get level 3 before the game is over? We are 20 minutes into the game, and Myriad, is he the only one now? I think so. It is just him that has not reached level 3. Oh man, this poor guy, he's not having a good time. He just said he'd unprivated his data so I can cast it. After the fact I chose to cast this game, I have a feeling he's immediately going to be reprivating. Oh, and it is going to be the Ram spam. So I think we've gone from playing a competitive 4v4 to playing a zombie apocalypse survival game now. How long can the heroes in the south survive? Because I'm just seeing the trickle of troops across the map, and it feels never-ending here. Look at purple and red especially. Orange also coming inside. Yellow's a little bit more lacking behind, but that's just because he stopped off for Rams randomly here. Decided he wants to start denting immediately into this keep over in this area from Corvinus. I'm trying not to look at these two scores. Something to keep in mind is BC didn't even get out of a feudal age either. So you have two feudal Jeanne factions, two Castle Age Jeanne factions. We have got an Imperial Age one, though. Corvinus did make his way up in the end with the Red Palace. This could be their saving grace. Which, but wait, am I correct in seeing that as Corvinus? Okay, he has. Yeah, so he went for the Jeanne's champions. We'd love to see him starting to produce them. They're pretty good against the English men-at-arms. But I like this idea of just getting into the Ram spam. You kind of need it up against the Arbalest defenses. 2 Rams isn't going to be enough to end this keep, I don't think, especially with the villages nearby, but it's a start, right? This is kind of one of those things where it's a stacking effect with more siege workshops being added in. Looks like we're going to be seeing a switch into Trebs. Meanwhile, south side, it's not looking good for Numidan. Numidan, who is now at risk of being annihilated himself. John's just trying to march in. Looks like they're not going to get pinched here. It kind of just doesn't matter, right? One of them is about to go down because it looks like the southern one does get pinched while Beasties is able to walk away. Now with Rams onto the castles and no Imperial Age, I'm not sure they have the Gatling guns to defend this anymore. Oh, man. Okay, so little spoiler alert. Well, it's not really a spoiler. It's just a nice teaser to look forward to. This is not the only game they tried this. They already had one game of Jeanne. Dude, that was sick. Okay, so folks, what Corvinus just done there is he baited with the Wololo, and you know how people are. They're like, oh, that's a Wololo, I'll kill that. The moment they went in to try and kill the Wololo, he primed the Divine Restoration, gave 30% health back to the Monk, and that's why the Wololo went off. That was a really cool detail. I mean, it's a sick little trick. It's someone you'd expect out of Corvinus, but we are still in a losing game right now. But this wasn't the first game. Technically, they had a game before this, but it lasted 2 minutes because I think Jigglypuff was on the other side. And they were like, nope, instantly left. There is another game after this, so we will be able to check in more to see if they actually optimize the strategy. But this was definitely not the one. I think the biggest issue I could see in this game was communication more than anything else. Kind of screwed them. I do not know where those villages are going. In theory, this can be a very strong strategy, though. Depending on the map, especially like the way that the boars spawn, the idea is that you rush level 3 as 4 so quickly, it's hard to combat. Well, low, again, but this time, no one is going to have the correct reaction and walk away. Like 1 or 2 of the Warrior Scouts of another opponent did, or Sofas rather, did get converted. Red Palace is coming out. Okay, if Numidan could somehow, by some miracle, get this up, maybe. In fact, right now, dude, look at what they're doing. That's so crafty from BC. He's dragging all of these sofas north into the Arbalest lines to the north. It kind of looks like he's griefing Corvinus, but the idea is these defenses should be good enough. And also, at the same time, he's protecting Numidan's age up. So it looks like we are going to get a second Jeanne into Imperial Age here. However, there's not much left of the base they had, if we're being totally real. There's a lot of sofas coming in. I think the goose is cooked. Yeah, despite the fact he gets the red keep up, it's going to be flopping soon after that. So Wallow is going to be a cute idea, but they're not even going to try for this time. The Divine Restoration bait works once, and that's all you get. But now, the Imperial landmark down, I think we might be approaching the end here. Myriad... Myriad's like, hold me, protect me. Numenor didn't protect me. You'll look after me, right, Corvinus? Just built a town center literally in the middle of the base. Problem is, I don't think he's going to protect you, buddy. Because he's about to lose his red pass too. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm looking forward to seeing how they iterate upon this. Dude, I can't imagine what the stream perspectives are like, right? Because I think, yeah, Myriad does stream occasionally. He might have been streaming this one. Corvinus and Beastie probably were streaming it as well. What a hilarious game. The best part is I don't seek Beastie losses. But of the ones that I've encountered over the years, this is one of the most comedic ones. You know what I say, guys? Experimentation is what matters. Screw the meta. You gotta find the next one. They might be onto something here. Let's be real. If a team tournament comes back, I guarantee someone's gonna try this comp. And look at that. BC, he somehow reaches level 4 despite the fact he doesn't have a base. No, really, guys. BC literally has no base. Another reason to pick Jeanne D'Arc in your team games. When you lose your entire base, you'll always have a hero unit to play with, so there's that. Oh, blimey. But we will definitely check in on the next game. In fact, I'll rush us into that one because this one was quite the entertaining little bout. However, I think it is about time it comes to an end. I mean, by some miracle, they kept the red pass up, but that's not going to last any longer. GG is going to get called. The 4 Jeannes will be seen face down in the mud. Maybe next time they can lift the trophy. All right, guys, let's rush into the next one. I want to pull that up ASAP. We'll try to keep this as one recording, so let me hop out of this. I love how laggy things get at the end of a game of Age of Empires 4 when you try to clock out quickly. But let's have a look at what else we got treated to from these 4 lads. So let me pull up on their accounts. And so we just had Golden Pit. We're now going to go in... Oh, sorry, no, we had Golden Heights. We're now going to go into Dry Arabia for another one. And I believe this one, someone said, featured Jigglypuff. I don't know about that. I do see the Devils clan. Garfield's in there. But let's get to it. I don't know how this one's going to go. But I'm excited. Wait, no, guys. I already know. Byzantines have been picked. Wait, the other ones crashed? Oh, okay, rip. Okay, guys, instead, let me know if you want to see more of this. If so, I'll try to hunt down more Jeanne de Quads in the future. But fair to say, experiment number 1 was a bit of a fail. I guess, they won 2 out of 3 then because their opponents crashed. So technically, they are positive on their wins.